everybody. Welcome to Chef Ken's Kenspiration Kitchen. My name is Chef Ken Polk, and mi casa is su casa today. I'd like to thank you for joining us. As you can tell, we have an in-studio audience, and the really cool thing about an in-studio audience is my friends and my in-studio audience has brought me stuff to cook today. And so they're inspired, I'm inspired, hence Kenspiration Kitchen. So my Kenspiration today was chorizo. And someone else brought me some really, really cool things. Some Doritos. Can you imagine that? Yeah, you can, because you probably got some at home too, right? so we got some Doritos. Also got some little baby bell peppers and some Brussels sprouts. Yes, I heard a yes. So we got that. And because half of my studio audience does not eat pork, we got some cheers and jeers on that one. We have some Amish chicken. Well, it doesn't have to be Amish. I'm not Amish, but they brought me some Amish chicken, all right? And they brought me chicken thighs. And the reason why I'm gonna use the chicken thighs to make chorizo. Had they brought me chicken breasts, we'd be in a whole different direction. But nevertheless, we got these. So we're gonna have some fun with that. And we have some masa to make tortillas. So we're gonna press up some tortillas. And we're gonna have some street tacos and some nachos and yeah, all of that within an hour. And the challenge starts now. I don't have to chase anybody. It's just my kitchen. So my handy dandy KitchenAid is set up to grind meat, and so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take my little. Let's talk about chorizo. Before that, so this looks like a little tube of sausage. That's because it's exactly what it is. Chorizo is a Spanish-based sausage, but this is not from Spain. This one is a Mexican chorizo. And the difference between the two is the Spanish chorizo is going to be cured and it is edible from just as it is edible because it's already been cured and smoked. At least cured. Sometimes it's smoked. But this one is raw. And so it's in a little tube to mimic what the Spanish one looks like, right? And so the one I'm going to make, I'm not putting it in a tube. We're just going to cook it straight in the pan. All right? And so we're going to get started on that. And I have a bunch of herbs and spices here that all go into the chorizo making process. Salt and pepper. And we have some cinnamon. We have two different kinds of paprika. I have a smoked paprika just because it's fun. If I didn't use a smoked paprika, I would use a spicier paprika. And that's where the chorizo is going to get its characteristic color from, right? And we also have a plain Spanish paprika. I say plain because it's not really plain, but a Spanish paprika. We have ancho chili, we have cinnamon, we have coriander, and I think that's it, if my mind serves me correctly. And I'm also going to add some fresh herbs. I'm going to add some fresh thyme and some fresh oregano to it. If you have the dry ones, that'll work perfectly fine as well. But one thing that I'm going to do that most people don't, because you're in my kitchen, you're going to eat it like how I eat it, right? Right? So what I'm going to do is most people will put the spices in raw, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to toast them. Woo! Why are you going to toast them, bro? So I'm going to toast them so that we can get some of the spices, so we can get some of the oils, and so we can get that nice smell and aromas. We're going to really make our sausage taste a whole lot better. And once you go black, you'll never go back. All right? So that's what we're going to roast these boys out. And by all means, if you guys have any questions along the way, please feel free. And so into my little Black Skillet podcast. Cha-ching. All right? So I'm going to add my chili in. Oh, I'm sorry, that's one paprika, two paprika, three paprika, four. I wish you guys could smell all of these beautiful, wonderful things. So I have friends that go all over the world and bring me back spices from them, from wherever they went. None of this came from Mexico. I'm just saying. So the next time somebody gets on a plane, you know what to bring me back, right? Bring me back some spices. Yes, you can even toast black pepper. You can even toast black pepper. So I'm gonna put all of these in. As you can see, put a little bit more of that one in. So when you're making your chorizo at home, the amount of spice you use is going to be contingent upon how much you have. And I'm sitting on not even a full pound, just about a pound. And so I'm just gonna add a little bit more. All right, and then we're gonna get them toasted. And while they're toasting, I haven't even turned the fan on, so my in-studio audience is gonna be able to smell. You can smell it. They're gonna be able to smell. Yes, ma'am.
Is there a reason why you kept them separate, since you're gonna mix them up at some point?
There is a reason I kept them separate, because I might want to use them later separately.
Okay.
Yeah, so I could make a spice mix, and I may do that at some point later, but because I know for a fact I'm gonna use them separately in different dishes, I don't want to mix them. And besides that, I had no idea how much chicken was coming. So that's another reason. Now, my mixer has already been prepared. I've cleaned it, I've sanitized it, and it is good to go. And now, oh wait. You know it. I wish you could scratch and sniff, but it's not gonna take long for you guys to start to smell those. And then I'm also gonna add some garlic to it. This is a real treat for me. It's not every day that I'm grinding chicken at home, or anything for that matter. Okay, I hear you saying, well, Chef, I don't have a KitchenAid at home, bro. I ain't got no KitchenAid at home. And I certainly don't have a grinder attachment, even if I do have a KitchenAid. Well, lucky for you, you can take this chicken and put it in a food processor, chop it up. There you go. All right. Uh-oh. Now I can mix them. Oh my. Can you guys smell
Smell
it?
it, yes.
You can smell it. You can smell it. It smells like potpourri. Whee! It does smell like potpourri. So I'm going to let that rest for a moment.
What level was the heat on the fire?
The heat was on medium. I don't want it up too high. This little doohickey. You thought. Thank God for editing, right?
I have a question.
Is it as serious as cancer?
It's
But who can make the average dancer? Hot as a heart attack, nobody's smiling. Go ahead, what's your question?
You know what? This is going to be a hard question. Now, as many spices as there is, what spice would you say is a must? One spice that is a must that you should have in your kitchen.
I'm glad you asked that question. It's going to sound like a really silly answer, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. You should get yourself a peppermill.
Okay.
If there was one spice that's going to change your life, it's a peppermill.
Okay.
Because very few people have ever experienced fresh cracked pepper and the brightness that it brings, to food. oddly enough, that was one of the major reasons for the spice trade. Oh, now I figured it out, because there were two of them. It makes sense. It was two blades. Blade and blade 2. All right, let's try that. A peppermill. You on one?
There you go.
Oh, look at him go! Woo! That's it. Now you're cooking with grease there, buddy. So don't cry. Dry your eyes. So let's talk pepper, shall we? So black pepper is a peppercorn. It is not a chili pepper. And so they act drastically different. Peppercorns do not have this enzyme called capsaicin. You ever heard of capsaicin? You ever heard of capsaicin? Capsaicin is what makes peppers hot.
So is it true that it's the seed? Like in some peppers, they're like, oh, it's the seed that really is the heat, or is it
So
the skin?
it is part of the seed, and it is also part of the mucous membrane that's going to make it hot.
Okay.
So the little membrane inside the pepper, as well as, so there's a little membrane inside of it. You know, when you cut it, the little rib that the seed sits in, that is going to be hot. All right, and so now our chicken is ground. Yay. And so now I'm going to start adding my spices to it. I'm still going to add some raw ones, just because. So it's a very flavorful sausage, so it's okay for you to go crazy with the flavor. Now, the next thing that's going to happen is salt goes in. And so I added 3 measures of salt. Move these boys over. Come back to those if I need them. What do I need now? So like I said, you could add dried herbs in, but I have fresh ones. Why? Because I'm fresh. You're not here, I'm sorry. You missed it.
So, Chef, what happens when you see people hitting, spanking, clapping the herbs? Whatever you
Nothing.
call it.
I don't call it anything. I don't, maybe they're practicing. I don't know. I don't have a clue why they do that. I think this hocus pocus. And maybe they may be trying to bring out something.
Okay.
Bring them out. I don't know. I can't tell you. You mean like
Yeah.
that part?
Slap the herb.
Maybe they're angry.
Angry at the herbs.
Maybe they're just angry at the herbs.
And I'm sorry, which one are you chopping up now?
So right now, this is thyme and oregano. Move this out the way. Thank you very much. Thyme and oregano. And we're gonna put a few garlic cloves in there. Now, if you really want to be fancy, I could have gone through the process. You know what? I'm not gonna use the press because I'm gonna show you guys something. You guys work with fresh garlic?
Yes.
Yes? So you know what's about to happen? Anybody got an idea? I'm gonna put a pinch of salt. Yeah, I'm gonna smash it. Now this, now this you can smack it, smack it, smash it.
That's interesting. No, the salt on top of the.
Yeah.
Now, why the salt on top?
Yeah.
It is going to help. It's going to help me. It's going to help it stay in one place. One, It's going to help bring out the oil. The oil's in it. It's all about the herbs. So this is mincing. When we're from chop to mince, the difference between chop and mince is how big it is. All right, another trick. So now you guys can smell all of the garlic, right? And in goes the vinegar. Nobody? Nobody wants to know? Nobody wants to know?
You mentioned you can use different types of vinegar. What type of vinegar is that?
So, different kind of vinegars that I've seen, that I've heard. Apple cider, red wine. I'm using just plain. I'm using plain old distilled vinegar. So, why the vinegar, chef?
Yeah,
Nobody wanted to know.
I did.
So what the vinegar is going to do is going to help hydrate the spices that are inside, and it's also going to help to denature, a little bit denature the protein.
Denature?
Yeah, denature. The nature of it. So, you notice the texture change?
Yes.
So the texture changed.
Sausage.
Yeah, it was a lot more firm a second ago. So the longer this sits, it's going to get softer and softer and softer. Right? Because the acid, the vinegar, is basically going to start to interact with the protein. And it's going to unwind the braid. So protein looks like a braid if you look at it under a microscope. Yep. Scratch and sniff. Oh, I wish you guys could smell this. Well, you guys can. So how's that smell? Smells pretty
Delicious.
delish.
Yes.
All right, so now I'm going to let that sit. Just going to let it sit. I'm going to let it sit and do its thing. All right? So here's the thing. All of those spices that I just used to make chorizo and I ground it up, if you don't want to be going through the process, of what? Chorizo. That's a hack. That's a time hack. All right. Awesome. All right, so now that that's resting, we'll do the thing that's going to take the next longest amount of time, and that's going to be our papas. All right? No, my papas, not your papas. Okay? So I'm going to do with these, I'm going to cut them into cubes to make my Spanish potatoes. All right? And this is a Yukon, or it's a gold potato. You can use Idaho potato. In all actuality, you can use whatever you like. All right, but for my purposes, I happen to like the buttery texture of the yellow one, so that's what we're going to use. Cool. Hope it's cool. When we're cutting round things, so we don't cut our fingers off, we want to make sure we get ourselves a flat surface. Now, a lot of places you'll see where they're going to discard the ends. I'm not. We're using all of this. All right. Got myself a nice flat surface to work with. I'm going to cut it into dices. Why? Because the dices are nicest. Uniformity is key to a degree. To the degree that you can accomplish a task. So could you use Idaho potatoes for this recipe? You absolutely could. If that's what you got, use what you got. I know that's not proper, right? Miss Sharp would get me. Use what you have.
To get what you want.
To get what you want. You know what we call that, people? We call that soul power. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to partially boil these in some salted water. The water is always salted whenever I'm playing with it. Now, if you're watching your salt intake, please don't salt the water. Yeah, if you're watching your sodium intake, please don't salt the water. Don't get messed up on my account. Talking about, the chef said. I used to say that to my students. Oh, I got it. Yeah, no. So I didn't put any water in there for a very particular reason. When we're working with root vegetables, we don't start the water first. We put it in. Did you all know that?
No.
Yeah, when you're working with I can't even speak. When you're working with root vegetables, you bring the water and the vegetable up to temperature at the same time.
Why is that?
Oh. Because it's a starch, and you don't want the starch to break down in the water while it's coming up to temperature.
Oh.
Yeah, that part. And oddly enough, when you have a green vegetable, like if I were going to blanch those, the water would have to be going already, because all I need for the green vegetables is for the chlorophyll to change and make it easily accessible. Ooh, pot filler. Pro tip: if you don't want to waste time, only fill the pot up the amount that's going to cover whatever it is you're cooking. Right? Because I don't need to heat water that I'm not using. 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, so they're gonna do is I'm gonna bring them to a boil and then turn them down to a simmer. And I'm gonna let them cook for approximately 5 to 7 minutes. All right, and the water that I'm started off with is tepid, aka room temperature, so it's not gonna be too crazy. All right, all right, all right. Next up, what are we gonna do with these little puppies? I know what I'm gonna do with them. Now I don't know if they're eating Brussels sprouts down in Mexico. I've not seen them on any Mexican menus, but we're gonna have some fun with them today. And so somebody had a question about these. My wife doesn't eat them. She's already got the frowny face. She's already got the frowny face. You like these? Why'd you get them? Why we messing with these on Taco Tuesday?
Because I love Brussels sprouts. I didn't like them when I was younger, but
something happened along the way.
I learned how to cook them.
So they're essentially like little cabbages, but they are modified. Not genetically modified in the sense that we know it now, with stuff, no, not that kind of, it's just basically husbandry. So they found a way to breed them and make them smaller. All right, and because we're going in the direction of Hispanic and Mexican, we're going to go ahead and put some spices like that on these. And I think I have a trick up my sleeve. Uh-oh, you guys notice my chorizo starting to change color?
It's like it's getting longer.
Notice it's starting to change color? All right, all right, all right. Excellent. And I take a look back to see what that's doing. Now, do I have to cut these down like this? No. You can shred them. I guess I'll show you what that looks like. You can shred them like that. Little slices. You can go their route. You can cut them in half. It's your thing. Ow. So I'm just going to quarter most of them without cutting my fingers off. How do you hold it? Hold it on both sides. I'm going to slice it straight down the middle. It's going to lay flat automatically. Get down there. Like so. Now, I do not need to blanch these at all. Only preparation I need to do for these boys is to slice them like so.
So you keep the ends on?
Mm-hmm. The whole thing is edible. That's the whole point. You don't like the ends, do you?
No, I love it.
Oh, I was about to say. You know? You want me to cut them off for you,
No,
Jay?
no.
I'll go back.
Do your thing.
Okay, here we go. You don't.
That's the one.
It was the biggest one. It was the biggest one. You know, the bigger they are, harder they fall. That's it, audience. There we go. And this one is for the soldiers who ain't here. For my no limit soldiers. Excellent. We got that done. All right. So we're gonna get those done. All right. Now, here's another little handy dandy trick we're gonna do. Because we're going to blister those, what else are we gonna do? We're gonna blister these. How you blister them? I'm gonna show you. I'm so glad you asked. I'm going to use my handy dandy cast iron skillet, and I'm basically going to put them in the pan and let them blister. Keep turning them around. Once my pan gets smoking hot, I'm going to put my chilies in and I'm going to let them blister. If they were larger, I would simply put them right smack dab on the eye and let them blister that way. But they're just little babies. They're just little babies. Well, let's see. Will you fit? If it don't fit, you must have quit.
And you're just putting them in the pan the way they are. No
Just the way they
oil or
are.
anything.
Just the way they are. I could spray them. It might help them blister a little bit better. But I don't technically have to. So, because you asked that question, here's what we're going to do. Pick a color to spray. Let's go with red. You like that, wouldn't you? Yeah. That was a cultural moment. If you missed it, I don't know what to tell you. And thanks for us, we actually have a fireman in the house. So if this don't go right, you know, you got my back, right?
Wrong.
Not run. Oh my goodness gracious. And it doesn't take long. Once that pan gets hot, you'll know it. That's it, you know it. Hey, what do you know? She also brought me some tomatoes.
Hot handle. Nope. Yes.
Too hot to handle, too cold to hold. So I want to see if you guys can smell those. Can you hear?
Yep.
Mystery.
Pop it like it's hard. Pop it like it's hard. And so I have two different kinds of burners. This is a really, really hot one. All right, so let's do a potato check, shall we? What should the potatoes look like? I'm so glad you asked. You know, they didn't really ask. Okay, let me tell you. All right, so let's look at our potatoes, shall we? This is after about 5 minutes, maybe. And you should notice that it started to change color. Start to change color. Start to change color. Right? So what I'm looking for this particular preparation, I don't need it all the way cooked because it's going to finish cooking in the water, but I need a little bit more cooked than that. So if I cut it, so it's not all the way opaque, but I'm going to pass this around to the kids in the class, and you can start to feel the starchiness. All right. So once they go into the deep fat, what I really want to do is for them to be nice and buttery on the outside and really soft and pillowy on the inside. So we're not going to let them cook too much longer. Not too much longer. And my peppers are about blistered enough. So here's what I'm doing. Don't think about bare hands. If you're at home, I'm just saying. But I can't feel my hands when I cook food. But I love it. All right, so all I'm trying to do is get the smokiness into the pepper. Can you guys smell the smokiness? Yes? Yes. You can smell it. You can smell it. All right. So that's that. Now these puppies are ready. No Lemon Soldier died. So oddly enough, the oil, turn that off. Oddly enough, the little bit of oil transferred to all of them. Oh, you guys can really smell it now, can't you? Oh boy. So a little smoke goes a long, long way in terms of what we're looking for our flavoring. All right, all right, all right. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I'm gonna let them sit over here. Oh, it smells so good in here. And all we're doing right now is it's called practice. No, I'm just kidding. All we're doing right now is just a little bit of prep. All right. And what time is it? Tortilla! Was that a whole dance? That was a whole dance we just got out of jazz. Tortillas. All right. So one trick that I found by happenstance when working with tortillas, if you're trying to make tortillas from scratch, is to make sure that your dough is at room temperature. Don't ask me how I learned that little trick, but I did.
One spoonful will make one tortilla.
Mm-hmm. 1 to 1. So I'm basing this off the size of my tortilla press. This is the tortilla press that I've gotten. My handy dandy, I've had it for years. It's all, beat up and used. But that's the whole point. So they also I've seen them come in wood. I've seen them come in wood and metal. I haven't seen anything else. You could also roll these out by hand with a rolling pin if you wanted to go that route. Not me. I ain't about that life.
Those are corn?
These are corn. I'm so glad you asked. Yeah, I'm not doing any, I don't have any flour ones today. You like flour ones? No, not really. I'm glad you said that because, the Mexicans will disown you.
And where would you purchase that at? The packet already made?
I was about to say any bodega. So, no, they won't sell it to you. They will not sell it to you. But you can go to Tony's, you can go to any of the fresh markets. I want to say this one was on Halsted. And they also come in different colors. There's one that they have that I believe was pink. I really like they make these purple tortillas. Now I could take these and I could add some stuff to them. Y'all want to?
To what? Make them orange?
I think that was a shot. Was that a shot? Was that a shot fired? Was that a shot fired? a shot fired for the red comment.
We
What
all
was your
know
name?
that orange is your favorite.
Right.
Yes, orange is my favorite color in case you couldn't tell. If you didn't know, now you know.
Out of curiosity, what would you add to it?
Chili.
Chili powder?
Yeah, chili powder.
Oh, okay.
Some kind of chili.
Uh-huh.
I would add some kind of chili to it. But you got to be careful if you add in chilies to it, because once you start the process of trying to cook it, it might not work out so well for you. It might choke you out. All right. Thank you so very much. And the ayes have it. All right, all right, all right. So here's the fun part. What I'm going to do is I'm going to press the tortilla, and I'm going to put it right on the young griddle over here. Turn this down a little bit. Press it out a little bit by hand. And then, wow, just a little bit of pressure. Please, little baby Jesus, sit in the manger. Let the tortilla come out right. Little baby Jesus, you let me down. Aha, I know what happened. It's just like Play-Doh, kids. If it don't work, redo it. Another little trick I learned. Don't go with Gina. Go with Pam. I'm here all night, people. I'm here all night. I'm here all night. Aha! Slide me some five, brother. I think I might have put a little bit too much pressure on the last one. Oh, you thought? Oh, you don't work. Yes, I talk to my food. And I hope nobody has a problem with that.
So the difference between this type of tortilla and the kind that's already pressed out, what would be your, is it just a preference or?
No, it's just fun.
Does one feel more or taste more authentic?
I'll let you be the judge of that,
Oh.
young lady. So we have this debate about authentic versus good.
Oh.
So just because something is authentic doesn't make it good.
Okay.
And usually you won't find anybody making their own tortillas out of this. What they would do with this is make tamales. It's the same thing it's used for making tamales.
That's a question. That's a question.
Yes, sir. You may ask a question.
Can you make taco baskets out of it?
No.
You cannot.
Well, if you were better at making them than I was, yes, probably. All right. And for the sake of get down, let's go ahead and get this situation situated. I need some Earl. All right, so in goes our chicken chorizo. I got one in. I'm going to go ahead and pop out another few of these little buttons. Aha! There we go. Starting to get the color we like. Boop. Don't apply too much pressure. Otherwise, it's not coming off. Crank that. Excellent. While that's happening, get these last few done. Has anybody ever been to a tortilleria? Have you ever been to El Milagro? Oh, you need to go. It's on 18th, right off of, what street is that?
Is it Pilsen?
It's on Blue Island.
Oh.
So yes, Pilsen. All right, all right, all right. I told you I was gonna get better.
Bring them out.
Only got a few more to go, and then we're gonna get onto our potatoes.
So if somebody doesn't have a grill, what would be the alternative? Just in the skillet?
In the skillet.
Do you ever put any in the oven or the air fryer?
No, no.
Okay, so always on top of the stuff.
Always on. It always needs to hit. It always needs to hit a hot surface.
Okay.
Now, afterwards, if you're trying to cook it another kind of way, if you're trying to crisp it up, you can certainly spray it with Pam or spray it with some kind of spray, and then put that into it. Like if you're trying to make a quesadilla, you can do it in the air fryer or whatever the case might be.
What about the first thing you said, the taquitos?
Taquitos can be. I don't know if I like that texture very much.
Okay, more deep fried.
Yeah.
Air fried. Okay.
Well, air fryer works as long as you have some fat on it.
Oh, okay.
If you don't have any fat, it's going to be dry and.
Okay.
I know, right? What does taste like? That's how it feels.
I'm on a peel.
All right, any of you puppies done?
Yeah.
Oh.
So why'd you put that one at the
It's a test. This is a test of the emergency crunch cast system. If you want your tortilla to be nice and crispy, do what he just did. Oh, I got a treat for you. All right, that's happy. Hope you guys can see what I'm doing over here. Shuffling along. My chicken is about happy. And let's see what my tostada looks like. Tostada! All right, let's have some fun, shall we? All right. Is that the last one? Done. Done, son. All right. So now I have some tostadas going. I heard you say, well, I thought you said we were going to make some nachos. Patience is a virtue. All right. Can I get that back? Just wipe it out. And we're going to start on our Brussels sprouts. They're going to go right into the pan. Thank you very much. That's done. And in goes my pork chorizo for the one person who eats it.
No shame. No shame.
There's a little bit of shame. But it's all good. In a second, you're going to start to hear. In a second, you're going to start to hear these puppies. Oh, look, just what I wanted you to do. Puppy. All right, so we talked about those. So they're going to start to blister very rapidly. So I'm going to put my herbs in them now, or my spices.
Now, when you use the term blister,
When I use the term blister,
describe what you're referring to.
so a blister, if it were meat, we would say sear. But because this is so very delicate, it's just a little leaf. And I'm going to show you in a hot second what blister actually looks like. Blister. So they're going to start to caramelize. The sugar that's in it is going to start to caramelize quite rapidly. All right. How many more I got? 1, 2, 3. One thing I want you to notice is the amount of fat that's in the pork The amount of fat that's in the pork versus our very healthy, chicken.
See how the room is divided? Chicken versus the pork.
Nobody's mad with the devil.
So when you put the thighs in the grinder, if you were to do the thighs that had skin on it, it would just have more.
You would just cut the skin up.
It would cut the skin up?
You just have more fat.
Okay.
And fat equals what?
Labor.
Labor. That's it, now you know.
Question time.
Yes.
If we wouldn't have brought these delicious ingredients, what deliciousness would you have brought to the table? What would inspire you? What flavors and foods would you have prepared?
I was gonna make, these were getting made regardless. I was gonna make some fish tacos.
Okay.
What type of fish?
Today it was gonna be salmon.
Oh.
Something told you.
To freeze some salmon. Because you always hear mahi mahi or shrimp. I was like, oh, I'm going to throw them up with some salmon. Everybody heard that conversation. Everybody got time for that?
That's after the show.
That was great. That was right on time.
Kind of way.
That was right
Ooh, I feel some kind of way. Like, ooh, want you down? What was I doing? Somebody tell me where was I? Not getting cut.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you. All right, put a little bit of onions in there with my.
Why'd you switch pans?
I'm gonna show you in a hot second. I switched pans because once these potatoes go into the fryer and they come out of the fryer, I have to finish them in a pan. And I'd rather finish them in this non-stick pan versus that stainless. Stainless, not really stainless. Man, it still stains. Don't get it twisted.
So you deep fried the tortillas. Would they been okay to eat right off the griddle too?
They would.
Oh.
All right. Put that in there. Those in there. I need this. Get my peppers cut. So you can smell all of those wonderful flavors, right? You can smell the smells. Just going to take these little tips off. And then I'm going to cut them. So how do you cut? Now these peppers are sweet peppers. And I'm going to leave them just half. Okay, you a big one. You get quarter. That's a quick way. Another way you can cut them. But it's all going in the pan. And guess what I'm not using today? Butter. So my potatoes are starting to get some skin on them. Yay, yay. All right. Now, for my cheese sauce.
Say what sauce?
Cheese.
Ow! Now, what is that? Right? I know. I'm like, what is that?
I'm just adding a little bit of chicken stock. And a little bit of chicken stock.
Right on, chestnut.
And I promise nachos. And I still need this. Still need cilantro. And the rest is going into kitchen happy land. I still need this. I need that. Keep my limes. So let's look at my potatoes. My potatoes have now gotten a little bit of skin on them. The potatoes have now gotten a little bit of skin on them, as you can see. Yep. So in the pan they go.
So what kind of oil was in the deep fryer?
Vegetable,
Okay.
keep it simple. So now I get to season my potatoes. Salt. Paprika. And sofrito. If you don't know what sofrito is, it's a tomato cooking base. With green peppers, onions, all the stuff I just put in there, garlic, and olive oil. There you go.
They have a green sofrito too, right?
That's made with tomatillos instead of regular tomatoes. Who ever made tortilla chips from scratch? Nobody?
No.
Shut your mouth! Shut your mouth and stop your lying! Oh, you about to like this. Oh, I think you're gonna like it!
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think is about to happen?
I'm
Gotta
scared.
mix it.
I'm scared. Oh,
I think you're
wait,
gonna mix
wait.
No.
No, I don't.
Make predictions.
I think you're gonna mix them up. Mix them up. Different flavors.
Make predictions, students.
Wait, what was the question?
What do we think is gonna happen with him putting in some more tortillas?
And those are about happy. These are about to be happy. Bold. Y'all can't hear the ooh. 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 All right, it's plating time, shall we? That goes here, that goes there, that goes there. Switch my board out. So I'm making you some Doritos.
Oh, shucks now.
You ever making some Doritos with the peppers and the paprikas and all of that good stuff? See why I kept them separate? So what I'm doing is now I'm about to make my cheese sauce, a little bit of cheese sauce for my nachos. And I'm going to keep some not cheese sauce for my Tostitos. All right, here's another little trick that I like to use. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I knew I had it. I know who's in the audience. So I just need that to come to a boil. All right. I don't need you, but I do need you. That is cilantro. I don't need the end. That can go bye-bye. Everybody here likes cheese like me?
Yeah.
Wonderful. You're gonna get this work.
Do one without.
All right, one without. All right. I'm just waiting for that cheese to melt. Get these cut up. So, green versus white, right? You guys have always heard that? So in theory, most people use the green part for garnish and use the white part for cooking. Did you know that? Anybody knew that? Now you know. So I'm gonna take these whites, I'm gonna put them in there with my potatoes. And I'm gonna put the greens, use the greens as garnish.
Well, why is that? Do the greens not have as much flavor as the whites?
Quite the contrary. They just have a different flavor.
Okay.
More verde, more fresh.
That's always use it all.
Use the whole thing.
Right. You ain't wasting nothing.
You ain't wasting nothing. They use the whole thing. I don't throw any of it away.
Waste not, want not.
Waste not, want not. All right, all right, all right. I'm just waiting for this cheese sauce to do what I need for it to do. All right, and I'm gonna add a whole bunch more red chili. All right, now watch this trick.
Oh.
Plates. So we got that. I don't need this anymore. Oh, I don't need the lime right now. But we definitely want these tomatoes since somebody brought them. Now, some people will go through the process of peeling and seeding and dicing these. Not the kid, not today. And actually, not for a salsa. In case you did not know, salsa simply means sauce. If it were just me, I would go ahead and hit these off with some lime. But I happen to know that somebody around here don't really like lime like I do. I think you all know who. I think we all know who. So. Two with no cheese, no cheese. So that's what we have. Please don't pick them up by your hand if you're not used to doing what I do. Because you will regret it. That's a guarantee. And we're done with that. And
So for the cheese sauce, it's just cheese? You're just melting the cheese, or is there something else?
so this cheese sauce is melted cheese and chicken stock. Or chicken broth. It's not chicken stock. I ain't gonna lie to you. I wouldn't lie to you like that. And you need some salt and some cilantro. Everybody needs cilantro in their lives, right?
So, if happenstance you were to use the lime, what would you?
Well, I'm gonna put the lime on individuals.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not going to lime the whole thing up.
Oh,
If that makes
okay.
any sense.
Okay.
All right, all right, all right. That's those. Like my little spread?
Nice and very southwestern.
Yes, yes,
Very
yes, 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 yes.
southwestern.
These right here. Can you representative
It's a
plate?
beautiful color.
Right here.
It's all right here.
All right. It's okay. Somebody said no cheese. All right.
He said he talks in his food, I'm hungry, I say to him.
I didn't put any pork out. Less confusion.
Which one is which?
I don't know. I can't tell.
I was like, it's out of wheat.
Little pepitos. And I don't want to leave you out here stranded. I don't leave you out here stranded. I'm gonna leave you out here in the cold. Kind of feel like I'm on Chopped. Coming down to the final moments.
1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute left. 55 seconds.
You're gonna make me burn myself.
No, please don't.
Don't do that. The secret pantry ingredient. There we go. The secret pantry ingredient that someone else brought was some I know where I'm not using this. So we're gonna put that on her nachos. And I think I'm about done. Well, I'll leave it in case anybody wants some. All right. I think we are good to go.
4, 3, 2, 1. Hands up!
That was great.
Ta-da! So, did we have fun?
Yes!
Yeah, did we learn something?
Yes!
Lots.
Did you know anything you would go home and do?
Yes.
Oh! All right, and so we have the blistered peppers with the cauliflower, the blistered peppers with the cauliflower that we have. I would have put a little bit of honey in those, but never mind. So we have the house-made Doritos / nachos. We have the Spanish-style potatoes, and we have tostitas, right? I'm sorry, tostadas. And then we also have the cheddar crusted tacos. All right.
Yes!
And let's eat.